Hey, hello, hello. So, I think it's Saturday morning. Anyway, hello. Coming to you from Moncton, New Brunswick, and I was sitting here this morning thinking, what to say, and it's interesting being away from my my community and the people that I'm connected with, and the people that I spend time with or work with, or and kind of drifting a bit down here, and the subject, what came up is that I didn't. First of all, I didn't feel like I had anything to say, and um, where and I was wondering, well, how is it that I always seem to have something to say about what I'm hoping is uplifting, and so I kind of got to this place of what is uplifting, what, and for me, what I find, if I'm caught up in my thoughts of self, or self-centered thoughts, or fear, or um, you know yeah, those kind of things, ego-based thinking. What works for me is gratitude. Gratitude is helps me to and to look at life differently. It just shifts me, and like a million thank yous, and I've really so much to be grateful for. My gosh. Not in comparison to anyone else. Everybody's living their life. I just look at my life now, and I recognize that, the exploration, the desire, I guess it was, over these years to become, to find peace, has has you know led me to peace and to love, and what could one be more grateful for than that? To be living in that peace and that love, and so gratitude brings me up. It brings me, if I get caught up in the lower stuff, gratitude lifts me up. And the other thing that lifts me up is helping others. So if I reach out to be there for somebody else, and it's I'm very grateful because people from my life, from the West, from have been getting in touch, and asking, to talk, or to be listened to, or to for um, my input, and so I'm grateful for that. So the opportunities there always to help people appear. God, as I understand him, kind of the things come together. That shows up. People show up, and so those things lift me up. So gratitude, helping others, lift me up, and hmm, yeah, to sit and meditate lifts me up. Prayer lifts me up. So those are the things that I wanted to share, and I'm assuming that when people watch these videos, that my folks that are watching, it's because they they want to be lifted up. They're seeking, and they're asking, how do I become at peace? How do I live in love in each day? And so that's my fever and hope, is that I can have a message that lifts us up. This morning, I read from a couple of books on a daily basis, and one of them is this one. I haven't really read this on here very often, but this morning's reading, which would be August the 7th, was really good. And it's really a gratitude message too. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to read the Tao Te Ching. But this is August the 7th. Pretty sure that's the date, isn't it? Yes, it is, August the 7th. It has a little reading. This is the Daily Reflections. It has a little reading from the Alcoholics Anonymous book, the big book. It says, "We, in our turn, sought the same escape with the desperation of drowning men." And what he's talking about is the escape from, basically from, what's killing us. You know, when we're talking about addiction. So, so we really had to be at a place where we wanted to be done with that, and so we sought the same escape with all the desperation of the drowning men. Imagine that. That's a we're really desperately looking to get out of the life that we're in that example. What seemed at first a flimsy reed has proved to be the loving and powerful hand of God. A new life has been given us, or we prefer a design for living that really works. And the program that this been the kind of the backbone of my life for many years has helped me to have a design for living that really works. I'm have on the practical side, maybe I'm not so good at some things, but it works. And a little over 40 years since I first sobered up and recognized that holy shit, I was in trouble, and big trouble. I was screwed, man, and never want to go back to that. So, and then they write, I try each day to raise my heart and hands in thanks to God, and that's our interpretation of God, for showing me the design for living that really works through our beautiful fellowship. But what exactly is this design for living that really works for me? Really works. For me, it's a practice of the 12 steps and to the best of my ability, the continued awareness of a God who loves me unconditionally, and the hope that in each new day there is a purpose for my being. I'm truly blessed in the fellowship. So one of the things is that as years go by, the desperation kind of fades, and we move on inspiration. We're inspired, and we want to have, and Bill, when he wrote the big book of AA, put in some great promises, and the promises in step 9 are amazing. If you're not familiar with them, read them, and they're an inspiration. They truly are. So that's my purpose, is carrying a message of awakening, and an awakening to the moment, awakening to a relationship with higher power, and I've also been reading daily this, and I'm going to read again today, the Tao Te Ching with Stephen Mitchell. If you don't have this book, get it. It's amazing. And the Tao Te Ching says, when a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories are making trucks and tractors. As an example, when a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. There's no greater illusion than fear, no greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself, no greater misfortune than having an enemy. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. And I guess that I can be grateful for that. I mean, fear, of course, at different times in my life has kind of run the show, but it's not the kind of fear that I had years ago, and it's hardly there at all these days. When it comes up, I see it, I'm aware, and awareness allows me to be present with it, and as soon as I'm present with it in the moment, it disappears. So it's a beautiful thing. So that's it. A little message for today, and love you guys. If you're feeling, fearful, or you're feeling, like something's missing, or somewhat empty, reach out to help others. The simplicity also of gratitude. Gratitude just brings us in to the moment, and imagine, yourself being loving and compassionate to others, and to really see them, to really listen. Those are the gifts that we have to give: to listen, to love, and to be with folks exactly where they are. Okay, love you, and thanks so much.